Oh yeah, I forgot my controls. Uh, Hello guys, it's Skyfish and today back with another guide for Black Magic 2. And today gonna be, I'm gonna be making a guide for Virtue, that that ball class, the class I have right now, if you can see. And yeah, okay, let's before we get started, this this guide will be like any other will be like any other guide. First, we're gonna talk about the specials and their uses. Then next is we're gonna talk about the brake mechanic, the guard brake, and the launcher, and then some tactics and strategies for using this class. And lastly, we're gonna fight someone with all the things we've talked about being used. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so first of all, Virtue has no auto combos if you don't know. Meaning it can't like punch or kick or anything. But instead it has an element wheel. You you can select an element. Wait, I mean you can navigate through the wheel with light attack, and you can select an element. That's what you're currently in with heavy attack. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, first let's start with what first. Yeah, let's start with SP1 first. SP1 is this. It can reduce all cooldowns of the moves here for 5 seconds, and it gives you 1 bar of heat for 5 seconds. It can be useful for combos and using stuff like the brake mechanic and the guard brake. Like example, you only have 1 bar of heat, but then you need to use the guard brake right away. So you can just use SP1, and then it will give you 1 bar of heat, and then you can use your guard brake. Yeah, but be aware that the 1 bar of heat will disappear after 5 seconds. So you have to be very very fast. Okay, let's move on to the elements. Okay, for water SP2. It's magic attack. You do a slash of water and then release it to your opponent like this, and it decreases their movement for a short amount of time. It's a useful move for zoning, and it's like yeah, it's a zoning move, and then you can combo it with any other attack. Okay, next is water SP3. It's kind of like it has multiple uses. I think it can also be used as like a guard breaker. No, it can't. But you can we basically with SP3 you can it's like a silent SP5, except when you counter your opponent, they'll be stunned shorter, but they'll be knocked back. They'll be knocked back, and then you'll get healed. I'll see if I can do that later in the battle. Okay, next element is wind. And wind SP2 is something like water SP2 except it's horizontal. Yeah, like that. It can be used in the air. Oh wait, shoot, I didn't have, I didn't have it equipped. Okay. It can also be used in the air. Also, I forgot. Water SP2 can also be used in air. Like that. And then wind SP2 has lots of knockback in it. Yeah, it has lots of knockback in it. Look. Let's look at that. Oh wait, it didn't show. Let me do it again. Lots of knockback. There, you see that? It's a good zoning move. And then next is SP4, one of the few melee options of Virtue. He punches 2 times and then he knocks the opponent back away. It's very useful for rushdowns like Kurai when they close up to you. You can just use SP4 like that to knock them away, and then you can get back to zoning. Okay, next is Earth SP3. It's an AoE move. Previously, it's well, if you did see, it had 2 hitboxes. One small square and one large square. Previously, the small square was a physical type, and then previously the small square was a physical type, I think, and then the big square was a magic type. And then, but now after the update, after the Virtue Nerf update, it's both of them are now physical, meaning that I think it can now get countered by a silent SP5. Counter. So the SP3 is useful for starting up combos, and also it's one of the few close range options of Virtue. Yeah, and then next is Earth SP5. It does lots of damage and stun, and it can also break blocks. There, you saw that, yeah? You saw that, right? Yeah, it has it can obliterate almost half of your health bar. Let me just turn on my graphics now. Yeah, let me just turn down my graphics there. There we go. It's less. Okay, there we go. As you could see, it does a lot of damage, and it's also very hard to hit. It's also very hard to hit. Yep. But don't use Earth SP5 out of nowhere. It will just miss, guaranteed. Maybe try using it as a combo ender. And then next is Fire, Element Fire. The Fire SP4 is this. One of the Fire SP4 is one of the few close range options of Virtue. It can also be used in air, except there's only 2 snaps instead of 3, like on the ground. And then here's Fire SP5. Fire SP5 is an AoE move. It can also be used in the air. All of Fire's moves are good combo starters, and are really safe to use, like SP4 here. Also, there, it's also it's a really safe move to use. And then for SP5 also, and then also when you jump and use SP5, it could potentially be a really good zoning move because you can step back. Your character steps back like that. Yeah. Also, if you didn't see its hitbox, it has a pillar-shaped hitbox at the middle. When your enemy gets hit by that hitbox, they'll get stunned. Let me show you if I can hit it. There, you see that? The enemy got stunned. The enemy got a longer hit, got end lag. Ugh, I'm stuttering. Okay. Next is SP6. SP6 is a neutral SP, which means you can use it in any element. Yeah, there. It lets you teleport a long distance. It's good for escaping stuff. Basically, yeah. And now we can now move on to the specials, to the EX specials. Okay. This is SP7. It's a melee. It's a melee attack. There you go. You can see that. Very epic. There you go. Very epic, as you can see. It's a really hard move to hit. Maybe you can use it after like stunning your enemy with SP5, I guess, or guard breaking them. I don't know. But if you manually break their guard, but if you don't know this, wait, no. If you manually break someone's guard, like when you break their guard with a normal attack, they'll get stunned longer than guard break. Meaning, and in that moment, you can use SP7. That's usually what I do, at least. Okay, now I'm gonna earn up some heat for SP8 now. Oh, by the way, guys, I forgot to tell you, you can switch elements in almost any time, including in attacks. For example, like what I just did earlier, I switched back to element of fire. Wait, like this, something like this. As you can see, there. There we go. You just saw that. I switched back to fire after using my fire SP4. Let me show you another demonstration. Oh my god, okay. Okay. Get back to earning up some heat. Okay, here is War SP8. It's a really good move. And you can use it after you can definitely use it after using Earth SP5 or maybe a stun move. Okay. Here it is. Yeah, epic, very epic. Kamehameha. Yes, okay. It's a good ult move. It's better used after using SP5 or guard break. Or maybe when your opponent's completely stunned and he's very far away. And yeah, that's basically it. And then next, we're going to talk about the break mechanic, the guard break, and the launcher. And the launcher, previously, it could shatter guards, but after the nerf, it can't now. Instead, it makes your enemies like jump higher. It makes your enemies jump higher for a short time. Next is guard break. Let's just earn up some heat for it. There we go. Okay. Now for the guard break, it's ranged, making it different from other guard breaks. There, it's ranged, and then you can use SP5 after that. Earth SP5, I mean. Okay, and then the break mechanic of Virtue I can show it to you guys right now. It's the same. It's the same thing as Avalon's break. Yeah, it's the same with Avalon's break mechanic. Breakout was it? Yeah. It's good for escaping attacks. Okay. Now for tactics and strategies with Virtue. So Virtue's objective is to keep his enemies like keep his enemies away from him. Yes. It's to keep his enemies. It's to keep the enemy away from him. Because Virtue isn't really that good with close combat. Yeah. So he has, but at long range he's a force to be reckoned with because there's lots of things he can do, like something like this. Yeah, you can see that. And then when you get near him, he's not that good at close combat. So if you get near him, you'll have the advantage. But beware of Virtue's SP3 because it has like 2 stages, and then if you get hit by it, you'll get comboed like this, and then blah 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 so on. You're gonna get destroyed. So basically, as a virtue, you have to keep your enemies. You have to keep your enemies at bay. But if you play Virtue right, it can even become a rushdown like Kurai. Okay, and now some combos for Virtue. There's only one combo I know so far, and that's this. I'm gonna show you guys. Yeah, that. And then after that, you use SP5, and maybe SP8 if you can. I'm not really that good with Virtue after all. Okay. Okay, now that I showed you everything about Virtue, how about we go fight a guy? Let's go fight a guy, shall we? Okay, let's go fight a guy. See if I can find one. So, see if I can find one. Ouch. Oh no. Okay. How many people are in this server anyway? There's 7. Okay, so how about we just watch this guy play? As you can see, he's a very skilled Virtue player. He's a very... Okay, why is he shooting me, huh? Oh, yeah. As you can see, that guy's a very skilled Virtue player. You can see he's using SP3 to approach the opponent. A really good choice. And then he used Fire SP4. And that guy for some reason. Also, if you mod SP6, it can go different dimension. It's different dimensions. What the heck? It can go different directions. Also, if you hit with SP6, it will stun the opponent and make you switch places with him or her. Okay, him or her. Okay, we're not that kind of, we're not that those type of guys. Okay, okay. Ow. Let's watch him fight. There, as you could see earlier, he used SP5 to get away from the opponent. Just like what I said. Good job. But despite Virtue's large range, you still have to aim properly, unlike that guy. GG. Okay. Okay. What it seems like we can't fight in this guide for now. So maybe I'll post the fight in a different video or a separate video. But for now, let's call it a day, shall we? Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something from this guide of mine. Make sure to like and subscribe, share to your friends, blah blah blah, goodbye.